dual monitors so I can watch the stream in one and have the game playing on the other.
Yeah, that is very useful.
Yeah, but I'm on a lowly laptop. Watch the stream in one and have the game play.
Alright, I think it is working, so that's looking pretty good. I changed the audio encoding so that I should get better audio quality now, so that'd be nice.
Isn't part of it just by mic quality though? Like if you had a good mic or not?
Yeah, I mean, I have a good mic, so.
Uh,
Um, Alright, looks like we might need an emergency sub from Julia. Sadly, somebody just left, but this will be College Park League of Legends in-house for November 17th. While we are waiting, let me go ahead and throw the throw a link up on the Facebook page. Oh, where's Julia? Yo. Get oh.
oh,
Spook instantly going to the spectators. Hold on. Wait, come back down. Alright, this guy was already on it. He like read my mind before I even typed it out, so.
thank God.
Oh yeah.
The mechanics, the guesswork.
Oh. He left by accident. Oh god, how do I... Oh wait, I can copy this name, alright. Yeah, dude, I don't know how this, how he managed to figure that out. Streaming live. Oops. That's not the link. Hold on, I had to copy his name. Oh, there he is. Our buddy.
Okay.
Here's the link we want. Alright, now getting into the pig ban. If you would be so kind as to go through that while I post on the Facebook page real quick.
Okay, so taking their time to pick a ban. Really taking their time.
Yeah.
I mean, Soraka is pick our ban, so is Yasuo and Tryndamere. And the Tryndamere guy comes out. That's not too surprising considering all that crit healing that he can do with new changes. And both teams are kind of taking their time to pick these bans. Although there are quite a few like pick or ban champions that are kind of easy to choose from. Kindred's also banned, fairly common ban.
Yeah, so interesting that the Kindred ban comes out. I've actually seen that a few times in the College Park in-houses, so I guess that's the flavor champion of the month.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, Tryndamere Yasuo getting that second half off from that deadly combo.
Those two are just so strong right now, it's insane.
Yeah, the last Keystone Mastery giving you heal every time you critical strike. Obviously, the passives from Tryndamere and Yasuo allow them to critical strike almost constantly, meaning that they get free lifesteal.
Yeah.
And Corki going to be banned also. Corki is historically a champion that's been good in the mid game, so I could see why Corki would be pretty strong at the moment because games are going so much, ending so much quicker. But
Yeah, but I wouldn't consider it pick or ban worthy.
yeah,
They need to play
exactly.
around it.
I think someone like Graves would be a little more of a priority pick, or like Callista, than a Corki.
Ah man, Graves it's not priority band. Haven't you listened to Double Lift?
Well, I don't know. Apparently, Hi MKG disagrees because that's gonna be his last ban. We for the Capital One circuit, actually in the playoff stage, we are actually putting a permanent ban status on Trinity and Yasuo, just because Riot Games has stated, oh boy, Shaco jungle. But yeah, since Riot Games has stated that Trinity and Yasuo are going to be nerfed with the Keystone Mastery going forward, we are gonna just have those permanently banned until they get balanced a little more.
Soraka auto lock in, not auto lock in, but it's lock in pretty quickly. But she's so good right now. She's at all the like the nerf to Grievous Wounds makes her so broken right now.
Yeah, and for anyone that's unaware, the Grievous Wounds nerf was that the passive, which reduces healing by 50% previously, now only reduces it by 40%, and it only works for self heals like Vladimir or anyone that heals themselves. But yeah, Soraka is pretty strong these days, especially since you can't focus the Grievous Wounds down. Although I have talked with some people like Lutano who have been playing it at the highest level, and he says that Soraka is strong, but she's not very broken because you still deal with her essentially the same way as you would before, where you want to engage and focus her down early on. Otherwise, she'd pretty much win fights the same as before the patch.
She makes such a difference in teams because like it forces the enemy team to have to play around that, where they have to kill her first. Well, not have to kill her first, but she's a very high priority target.
Speaking of high priority targets, that Katarina coming in from Aether Flash. Gonna be pretty exciting to see the Shaco Katarina lineup, and I've never seen Daguerre or him play Thresh, so we'll see how that works out. I'm a little suspicious of how Katarina's gonna do against Soraka, because Soraka can throw down that silence field in the middle of Katarina's ultimate, but we'll see.
If Katarina gets a kill or she has her blink up, and she can just blink away.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't be able to blink out of the silence, unfortunately, but...
Yeah, true.
Oh, man.
To me, I'm silver.
Even a misfortune being hover, this is just going to be so much fun to watch going forward. Again, to just go over misfortune a little bit, they added the love tap passive, so when you switch targets with misfortune, you do bonus damage. That also works with her Q double up, so when the double up bullet hits the first target and goes back to the second target, that will still deal additional damage, which means pretty much you're chunking out the enemy AD carry a ton. Yeah. And now her ultimate does have critical strikes in it, so building crit items, and they did add critical strike to Essence Reaver, I believe, so you could even go for that if you want to.
And the love tap just works so well for last hitting too, since it's a lot like the Jarvan's passive. So that makes last hitting super easy. For the last pick being the Aurelia.
Yeah.
Making really good. Hopefully she'll build that Guinsoo's Rage Blade, which is so good right now.
And the Irelia Fiora matchup in the top side. Fiora has been a staple top laner for a while. Irelia, I think, gonna see a bit of a surge in popularity. Now that the game has actually loaded, I can take off the spoiler banners. But yeah, Irelia benefits a bit from the new masteries, and also I've seen it. Well, actually, I haven't seen any, but I've heard that you can build Ginsu's Rage Blade pretty well on her, just because she likes to attack a lot, and it.
Yeah, and it does so much damage with her.
Yeah, they had the Jax hovered earlier, but they decided to go for the Irelia top regardless. And I really like the Irelia into Fiora matchup specifically, because Fiora as a champion is somebody that the entirety of whether you win or lose lane is just dependent on your skill. So when you're against somebody like Fiora, or not Fiora, Aurelia, who has a targeted stun, it's pretty much just mind games to see if you can predict the stunned equilibrium strike to come out or not. So
True. So, who do you feel like won the pick and ban phase sprint?
well, this is a
When you on the
very
spot there.
solo Q-esque pick ban with the Shaco Katarina. I do really like Purple side though, because
Yeah.
both sides have very squishy champions across the board, and they don't really have very strong front lines. But you have the Soraka on Purple team. That'll allow champions like Master Yi or LeBlanc or Irelia, maybe not LeBlanc so much, but it's still possible. But they can really get into the face of their enemy team and still be able to survive due to Soraka's permanent sustain, or infinite
Yeah.
sustain rather.
And if purple team gets rolling ahead, just even like 2-3 kills possibly, they could snowball so hard and it would just be a bad day for blue team.
Yeah, especially against somebody like the Shaco coming out of the jungle. What are your thoughts on the Ignite Smite jungle for Shaco versus Smite Exhaust for Killiang?
I'm not really sure what's the deal with the Smite exhaust, but Ignite and Smite is pretty good on Shaco because of his multiple escapes, so he doesn't really need that flash. So having a flash, although it's kind of beneficial to have like kind of like a third getaway, it's not really necessary.
Yeah, and especially with against lower tanky targets, having the Ignite 2 secure will help out. And you have the Katarina who can reset off kills, so getting that kill pressure is increasingly more important.
Yeah, before it would be really good. Like before the Grievous wound changes, it would have been even better to play it, to use it because it would counter anything Soraka does. But with the Grievous wound changes, it's not as good. Although it's still kind of effective.
Yeah, and I do believe Thresh is actually running the exhaust, so they won't have the. So I mean, you could still go for the ignite and be able to ignite Soraka or something in the lane, because obviously, as Thresh, you want to be able to hook Soraka to be able to kill her. But yeah, I think he's running the exhaust, so not going to have that option. But you can reduce most of the damage coming out from Tristana.
Yeah,
regardless.
It's kind of split here because if he could use ignite in lane to counter that Soraka's healing with her Q, but when it comes later to team fights and other fights, the exhaust would work really well against the E, Tristana, and maybe even the Aurelia.
Yeah, so if they're able to survive the early game, I mean, Soraka in lane is pretty oppressive if you can't engage on her, but that exhaust will have increasingly more value. I do really like the new borders for the season. They are just so shiny. They pop out at you.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't like diamond. I like the diamonds. I like the diamond border. I mean, I have the silver border, so like, anything above that is better.
Well, yeah, I think people are a little salty because the diamonds in this are very round, and people usually associate it with more pointily shaped gems.
I mean, a diamond's a diamond. If I have a diamond-sized ball, it'll be the same as having like one that's cut.
Yeah, I do. Speaking of very fancy things that cost a lot of money, I do want to point out that is 3 skins for blue team versus 4 skins for the red side, and they even have they have the super swag ones like Ravenborn, LeBlanc, and Project E. So, I talked about how I like the Soraka for the red side team composition overall, but they even have the skin advantage going into this, so I think blue team is gonna have a bit of a rough time.
Yeah. But I really like, I don't know, I really like all the skins that are on purple side. Except for maybe Riot Girl just not.
Hey man, can't knock on it if it's free. That is the skin you get, I think, for liking the Facebook page.
So
you can also get Dread Knight Garen for free if you like their Twitter page. Julia's calling me a sellout, but don't worry. She's calling me a sellout when she's been a double lift sub for months now, so talking about fiscal responsibility.
I bet she's
Anyways.
a TSM fan too. If she switched over to be a TSM fan, she could sell out.
Oh my gosh. Alright, they're flaunting their mastery icons. They're going into game. Let's look at the starting items here. Looks like Aeraephe went for the longsword refillable potion. And because potions are much more expensive now, the refillable potion, I believe, is 150 gold, so it's the same. So basically, it's a cost of 3 potions. So if you go back once and use the refillable potion to you completely use it up 2 full times, then it will be worth the gold. But I do believe each charge heals less than the regular potion.
And you would be correct.
Yeah, so overall a longer term sustain, but yeah, the Shaco actually decided to go for the regular health potions and the upgrading all the way to the Hunter's Talisman. I don't think I've actually played the new jungle at all, so I've been mostly looking at 80 carry in top lane, so I'm not really sure exactly the efficiency of the jungle buys yet, or
In this case, I think it would work for Shaco because it gives him that meta regen to be able to clear the jungle pretty quickly.
yeah, and we'll be able to use those boxes to kill that blue buff so quickly.
Yeah. The purple, interesting thing is that purple side's automatically starting blue buff and completely disregarding the ground. Maybe that's just the jungle thing now, and I don't know.
Yeah, unfortunately, there haven't really been a lot of pro games played, or no pro games played so far on this patch, which is where I usually kind of learn the proper meta stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if that's what you're supposed to do now. I can point out, however, that Fiora is down a lot already at level 1. So she actually tried to go in for a lunge, but missed the vital proc and gets hit by the equilibrium strike by Aeraephe.
One thing is Shaco's kind of asserting his dominance in the jungle.
Oh yeah, here he comes. He actually smites away the red buff, and now he's going to try to get out of there. Is Killian going to be able to make it work? Oh, that backwards deceive. That is a true Shaco main right there.
That was pretty clever, because then LeBlanc was coming up to get him.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give Sack props for having the communication to come over to try to spot him out, but he just simply outplayed that. Got the red buff and got away for free.
Yeah, and top lane right now is... they're fighting pretty hard.
Getting pretty dangerous. LeBlanc is trying to push Katarina back a little bit, but yeah, looks like they're just gonna be toying around a little bit. Usually Katarina is not as strong pre-level 6, but because LeBlanc did leave lane right there to try to help gank Shaco, she was able to get a little bit more comfort into the lane. Yeah. And she'll be trying to push LeBlanc back into the turret now.
And a thing to notice is that Sack's pretty low on mana,
Ooh!
so he won't have a lot of
Oh no, the minions! Oh! So sad.
Yeah. I didn't get to see that.
Jeez. Yeah. So 9DF trying to make that play happen, but flashed and didn't land the last auto. So you always have to keep in mind the amount of minions in the lane when you're doing these trades. And Aeraephe, because she had pushed up to Fiora's turret, for most of the trades she did have the minion advantage, and unfortunately that cost her in the end. So
Shaco, like, posturing for... Nah, he's not gonna do anything.
I believe in him. Come on.
Come on, you know you want to gank that.
Yeah,
It's some action mid lane.
we were talking about how aggressive this is. Yeah. LeBlanc is really aggressive onto Katarina there.
I'm surprised.
That
Sack
being
has low mana.
That being said, yeah, Sack is getting really low on mana, so she won't be able to stay in the lane, whereas Katarina can continue to throw out her bouncing blades. So LeBlanc gonna have to play this fairly precariously, especially since she doesn't have any more wards out, and Shaco is lurking around.
Some action top lane.
You can see that the bottom lane, though, is getting really aggressive, and Horo-chan abusing the fact that he has the Soraka, so he's pretty much just walking up into the face of his opponents, and that's something you can afford to do. Sack, meanwhile, has to burn his flash. Ooh. Good.
Lot of action top.
That was a nice repost, actually. Oh, what? Aether Flash! He took the turret hit, takes the death on his score as well. And complaining about that tower shot with the smile on his face, of course. Speaking of tower shots, Irelia takes one there herself, but that might be pretty painful going forward, because when you have an assassin versus assassin matchup in the mid lane, it gets so snowbally because assassins by design aren't very good at safely farming. But here comes Shaco coming from behind. Is he gonna be able to get the gank off onto Irelia? The parry or the repost actually parries Equilibrium Strike, so very well played by
That was extremely well played by Shaco to put that box right behind that Irelia.
He is so comfortable with that. Aether Flash trying to continue to harass Master Yi, but she has a lot of minions to attend to, so.
Yeah, and that first death was not really good on her.
Pretty much. We'll see. Thresh getting a little more antsy to try to find this hook on Soraka, but looks like he's gonna go for Tristana instead. A great play! Interrupt Horo-chan's rocket jump out of there, but he does still have the Soraka, so Misfortune gonna see if she can burst him down. I don't think that's gonna happen though, and now, even though Horo-chan is at low health, he gets the Soraka heals while Thresh just has to deal with it himself. And now Katarina going in! Does she have the ultimate? Burns both flashes out and doesn't even pop her ultimate, so good patience, because she would not have been in range to continue to get that kill, but
And this is why Soraka is so good right now.
yeah,
And
kind of covers for any mistakes. But speaking of that, Master Yi trying to trade with Shaco, but oh my gosh, actually LeBlanc comes out and finishes off Shaco as well, because he was sticking around a little too late. That means both mid lanes do get a kill, and now Misfortune going to be turret diving. They are focusing the Soraka, that's what you need to do, but turret shots do kill King Godleo. Sack is going to be here for the cleanup as well. All in all, that does give a favor to the red side, and is Thresh going to get away from this?
Maybe. That was not good for the blue team, because I think all the kills got into priority targets, and that LeBlanc has got 2 kills and is stacking Thermagide.
Yeah, pretty much. And they did actually improve the build path for Magi's. I do know that that is something they put in, so making it safer, but she already has the Magi's, so she doesn't even need it to be a safe build path. And in the top lane, we saw earlier Fiora had a great repost, but that time she was not really able to time it, where I really got the Equilibrium Strike with the Sheen auto attack onto her counterpart, and that pretty much harassed Fiora down enough, so when Fiora went back in, she was able to clean up the kill with her Blade Surge ultimate.
Shaco's coming in on top.
I might have actually seen that, because you can still see the particles even if you don't have vision of the area. Does manage to get away. I think Shaco went in a little bit early there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can really see how in the bottom side, Tristana did get that 1 kill, whereas MF just got 1 assist. A little bit of kerfuffle in the jungle, but Tristana does come back to lane with an additional pickaxe, so that's going to make it even more difficult for the bottom lane to make anything happen. Shaco going in by himself. I don't think that's what he wants to do. The Ignite was on him, so that gives away which one is the real Shaco clone. Another kill for Master Yi.
That was a little awkward. Not really sure why he went in on that.
Yeah, I think just trying to snowball this a little more, but he did not have the support of his mid laner at that time.
Yeah.
And he paid for it.
And that just gives another kill to Master E and another assist for that LeBlanc who's stacking already at 10.
That is gonna just get worse and worse. Yeah, LeBlanc I believe is at 10 now. That is so difficult. Oh, Thresh Hook. Oh, just barely missing. That means Horo-chan can get that one kill. He gets a reset on the rocket jump. Is Kingalio going to be able to turn it around here? And Soraka is still alive, so I don't think he has any hope of really killing her off by himself. And Master Yi, now that the support is completely donezo on the bottom side, does go in for this invade, but he doesn't come out onto high MKG until the buff is already got it. He does actually get the Alpha Strike off. The red buff gonna fish it off, and he actually uses the Meditate to survive the entirety of Katarina's ultimate. He gets a double kill, going for the triple. Tristana picks that up. A good roam from Horo-chan. And Soraka even using her movement speed from the passive to be able to make that work. And now Fiora gonna try to go all in on this top side. Is she gonna make it happen though? No! Oh man. That was close. No deaths on the top side.
Yeah. I feel like Irelia could tower dive this.
Oh!
And she does.
Wow, nice call there. Pretty much seen plays before they happened. And just gonna continue. She didn't even have to burn her ultimate for that, so she just uses that for the wave clear.
Yeah, she
picks up that turret. And here comes Shaco yet again. He's gonna try to make something work, but she already has the phage and boots and the movement speed. So from the boots, so she gets out of there a-okay. And even though there's actually a pink ward in there, that's kind of interesting, but not really gonna help.
That's the blue side, so.
Yeah, we haven't really seen Master Yi go to the top at all, so I guess maybe Fiora is getting a little nervous that if she was getting kind of low in health, maybe Master Yi would have decided to come over there. But looks like everyone on the red team has 3 kills so far, and we're not even 13 minutes in.
What are you doing, Soraka? No 3 kills? Slack in there.
Hey man, I want to see Soraka pick up some kills of her own. She needs to assert her dominance as the true carry in this game.
Yeah, she does.
But
they're going in, and
yeah,
missed hook.
Unfortunately, he did not land that because Soraka was not there for that time. So
find that flare.
If Dejero was actually able to just walk up and flay, you can pretty much get a guaranteed hook out of that. But he gets the hook onto Tristana. Now that Soraka is here. Are the heals going to be enough? Looks like just barely. Tristana is solo. Here comes Shaco. Is he going to try to dive this? Really not quite. I mean, they know that LeBlanc is still in the mid lane. Speaking of which, they're about to get that turret. But I think Shaco could have gone for that personally.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, man. This Aurelia lane is getting so dangerous, and you talked about the Ginsu's Rage Blade, but she's just going for the tried and true Triforce build. I do want to point out that they removed the passive cleave from Tiamat, so that actually makes it a lot more difficult for Fiora to be able to keep the wave managed in lane. But a great flay into hook from Thresh actually means that Master Yi doesn't get the kill. I think oh no, Justana picks one up. And she gets the reset. Meanwhile, LeBlanc finishes up Shaco on the top side. Misfortune, King Godleo. Oh, man, just a lone pirate hunter at her turret. Gonna try to make something happen. Horo-chan actually falls down. Oh, Soraka's heals just barely enough. Now, Aether Flash gonna try to do what she can. But Aether Flash is going down. The procs from the Sheen Burst are just too strong.
Yeah. And this game is just snowballing way out of control. And somehow, the purple team still managed to have even kills for each member.
Look at how well warded the blue side jungle is from the red team. They have 2 pink wards aggressively placed, as well as a couple other just regular wards.
And they're just placing all these wards into the top side, so that C-Mex can just do whatever he feels like.
IMKG did not find that pink ward in his bush. He's gonna pay for that with his life, and Aurelia burst him down so quickly. And also, we saw that Katarina and Shaco were trying to make some kind of ganks happen against Aurelia, but once Aurelia builds the basic boots of speed and the phage, it's so hard to lock her down when you're playing champions like Fiora, Shaco, or Katarina, because you don't really have any hard CC
Uh-oh.
with which to gank. But speaking of ganking, Fiora, I believe in you. You can make it get away. A great parry actually comes out. I think that stopped the stun, but not going to be enough. There's just too much damage simply coming out on all fronts. That
Yeah,
both the soul layers are already dead.
That was weird for her to be there. Like she saw Shay, she had to notice like Shaco dying in the jungle.
Yeah, and Sack does get hit by the death sentence in the end there, but Soraka's there to help him out. And Misfortune's in no position to clean up. So this is now Haim KG just trying to stay alive in his own jungle. He's hiding from his own monsters at this point and uses the Deceive to try to get away from some LeBlanc damage. And holy moly!
Well, that just happened.
Do my eyes deceive me? It looks like... To me, it looks like LeBlanc has 25 stacks on that Mage Eyes.
Yeah. I guess they boosted up to 25.
Oh, okay. So, full stacks already at 60 minutes in. Today I learned that Mage Eyes stacks to 25 now. That's going to make it so much more difficult. And she even has the Abyssal to provide more magic penetration. That also makes it that much more difficult for anyone to shut her down. And we talked about people building Rage Blade. That's a master ego in Ginsu's. He doesn't even scale with the ability power anymore. He just wants the passive stacking bonus. He's going all in, using the Highlander. Actually gets off an Alpha Strike onto Fiora. And is she going to go down? LeBlanc flashes forward. Sack is godlike, gets a double kill. Killian is really kind of sad there. Well, you tried, buddy. You tried. But not all of us can be bags of burlap because Sack is now 8-0. Unstoppable at this point.
And CMAX is just like splitting up top, and no one has an answer for him.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do in this situation? You really don't have anyone that can wave clear safely against Irelia. And when Irelia just instantly destroys your 80 carry, which is essentially your safest option because you have ranged attacks, this might just be game over.
I mean, maybe, because the game is so snowballing now because, and partially because of like, the little turret changes and the bug where it doesn't have any. Nah.
Oh man. So
yeah,
it looked a little promising for a little bit, but now Horo-chan is going to be auto-attacking the turret with his explosive charge on it. They even reduce the armor on the towers with the pre-patch. Oh, a good death sentence does try to lock up Sack under turret, but it's just too much. Then Tristana comes in for a kill of his own.
There's a bug right now with the turrets where they don't have any armor or magic resist. Like if you click on the tower and you're paying attention to the resistances, it flickers on and off between 0 and like 0 and their like what they're supposed to be. At least for the outer turret.
I believe that is more to do with Riot. Riot changes so that when there are minions near the tower, they get health. They like increase the total health, but they remove the armor from them, so that allows solo lanes to push more easily. But I think they get the armor back when there's no minions to prevent backdooring.
Oh, I thought it was a bug because it seemed weird for them to like flash. Like it was like it kept linking like between like the number is supposed to be and 0.
Yeah.
That was a little weird.
Speaking of bugs, Kayliang saying, "What is this? For some reason, Thresh isn't dead on my screen. Let me fix that real quick." He picks up his 8th kill, giving LeBlanc a run for her money. And Irelia is gonna get the Styrax Gauge now. That's a pretty popular item with champions with a lot of high base damages, like Renekton or Darius. Although I don't think I've seen it on Irelia too often. Oh, Fiora. Fiora actually had it out, I think, if she ran away after that Buster shot. But unfortunately, she tried to go back in for Horo-chan. I guess it's all in at this point, because if you're not making kills happen, then You're not having a good time either way. Aether Flash! Is he going to be able to get Horochen? He puts the Ignite on it. The question is, can he catch up to him? He does not have the entire Luden's Echo completely finished.
Ooh.
And Thresh going to throw out a Death Sentence of his own. And Irelia, this is a huge goose chase, but Katarina's going to give up eventually.
Yeah, and it just allows more time for bot to push in. Or not.
Well, they push the wave in at least, so that'll force somebody to go deal with it, like you said. And now they're gonna maybe focus back toward the mid lane or even get a 20-minute Baron. I don't think Sack is really looking at getting objectives to finish this out. He just wants to be #1 in kills. But Kaliang trying to compete with him as well, even though he has 2 deaths, still only 1 behind. And now that he has this sated Devourer, it's gonna get so scary because you get the Ginsu's Rage Blade proccing twice on every auto, and once you get the Mastery passive, that just does so much damage. And even though Fiora can parry 1 auto, you just saw what happened.
Yeah. You can parry 1 auto, but when you have 5 of them.
Oh man, double kill. He does not care if Shaco uses ultimate because that means he gets to Alpha Strike both of them at the same time. Dejero, no, run away, man. You've been bullied so much by this LeBlanc already. Oh, jeez. Oh, does Zach fall down? No. Oh, he's at 18 health. I wish Kingalia would have killed him there, but alas. I guess he's gonna stay at 25 Magi stacks for now. And nobody can really stop Aurelia, like you said. How do you even deal with these waves?
Yeah. I think early on it's just like it would have been a little bit easier to have like mid and jungle come in and gank top. But it's pretty much game over now.
Yeah, I think that probably would have been a more viable strategy. I mean, it's difficult to log him down, but if Irelia is building the Triforce first, especially getting a Sheen first item, that's pretty much 0 defensive stats. So maybe if they tried to make something happen around that top lane, could have gotten at least some form of lead, but Shaco is pretty much trying to invade solo, and it kind of came back to bite him in the end.
Yeah, if he focused that Fiora top lane, I'm pretty sure that Fiora could have snowballed out of control. And then opening up more opportunities for Shaco to make plays elsewhere.
She will be at least trying to build a little bit of armor, maybe getting that Warden's Mail for a Frozen Heart. Or if she would rather a Randuin's Omen. I'd probably recommend the Frozen Heart over that, just because you get the extra cooldown reduction bonus, but there is something to be said about the fact that Irelia can do true damage with her autos with Key 10 style, so this is just pretty much closing out the game. They already have 2 inhibitors.
Yeah, and there was not a lot of, oh my god.
That QR instantly bursting down high in KG, and he showed a lot of comfort on the Shaco jungle earlier in the game, but it was not enough. Now LeBlanc goes in for another kill. She's just doing as she pleases. Her best Mundo cosplay I've ever seen for a woman scantily clad in that. Actually, I don't think she's scantily clad in this one, so that's nice.
Scantily clad.
But we're in that badass game. Kaliang not even gonna die here. He has the meditation going on with the Soraka healing him at the same time. LeBlanc looking for more, trying to put him into his sack, and can Thresh hook them onto the fountain? I think they're just gonna let the minions finish this one off with no more kills coming out. Aether Flash gets knocked out to the other side. That is the game. Very well played from the red side, despite blue team's best efforts.
Was a pretty hard game.
Fairly one-sided, if I would agree with that. Interesting item builds. With the new items, you actually see the rapid fire cannon coming out from Tristana, and that is somewhat similar to building the static shiv, but
Yeah,
it gives you
so
the
good on
bonus
her.
range instead. So
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what she would have built with the 2 log swords, because static shiv and rapid fire cannon are so good together right now.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. She might be trying to go into something like a Blade of the Ruin King, which probably wouldn't have been the best item against a squishy team.
Yeah.
Might prefer a Bloodthirst or something like that, but
Another interesting item build is that Hex Tech Gunblade on that Master E. What?
oh boy. I mean, hey man, if you have the Ginsu's Rage Blade, that does give you auto attacks based off of your ability power. So, I mean, hey man, I've seen people build AP Ash, and you just build a lot of AP, you get your arrow out, and you build a Lich Bane, so your one auto attack can do some burst.
I'm still not convinced.
I mean, honestly, I guess I am not either, but when you're that far ahead, you have a little bit of liberty. And look at LeBlanc's damage. I think I have to give Sack the MVP in this one.
Yeah, that was just straight brutal. And what? That poor Shaco. He constantly got invaded on and got out damaged by 3 by that Soraka.
Indeed. I am still a little sad that Soraka did not have any kills that game. Think she could have stepped it up a little bit. Thrown out some of those death bananas. Maybe instead of a useful item like Zeke's Harbinger, you could go for like an Infinity Edge. Bloodthirster.
No man. You have to go for Runan's Fire Cannon.
Oh, the long range banana. It's what they least expect, right?
No one expects the banana.
Yeah. But anyways, that was pretty fun just because it was action packed at least. So there were 41 kills in that 24-minute game, even if most of them were on one side.
Yeah, it reminds me of Chinese games. Lots of fights, lots of kills, all under the time limit.
Yeah, and I do want to give a shout out to King Godleo. Did actually keep that CS up fairly decently.
Yeah, and another shout out to Aether Flash, I think, for me being able to like not die so much.
Being able to not die so much.
I mean, everyone else in his team had like 6 or 8 deaths while he had 4, and he managed to keep like 4 kills as well. So he wasn't doing too awful. He made it.
He was he was surviving. He was 3 and 4. That's a pretty respectable score. But anyways, congratulations to the red team. It's been pretty fun casting. My name's Sprintspeed.
And I'm Aeraephe.
And see you guys next time. Hope you enjoyed the cast.